Hey, you jungle slow. How many of you just full clear every single game? Well, you are trolling. The key to jungling like a challenger is accelerated jungling. Let me show you. This is Canyon. In this game, he is doing grubs, and the enemy jungler knows this. So, what can the enemy jungler do to counter Canyon doing grubs? Well, they need to take something away from either Canyon's side or the middle of the map to trade for grubs. But Canyon knows this, and he accelerates his jungling by skipping his Gromp and walls, and he runs straight to his raptors. It's the same in this clip too. If he was to farm his Gromp and walls after grubs, it gives the enemy jungler too much time to take his bot camps. And it should come as no surprise when we see the enemy Kindred near Canyon's bot side jungle here. This is Kanavi. After his red buff, he knows that he cannot contest the Rift Herald because the enemy Hui support is closer to that fight than the friendly Bard. So Kanavi has to look for something bot side of the map. So what does he do? He accelerates his jungling by skipping his bot camps, and he does Dragon. Please notice how the enemy bot camps and AD carry are missing here though. If either of these were up, he would definitely kill them first and then come back to Dragon. But Dragon is good enough, and his Varus is getting a free tower on top of that. This is Eagz. As he does wolves, the enemy Mordekaiser ran into River from top lane. The weaker Gwen is also recalling mid lane, thereby giving the enemy Yasuo prio. So Eagz knows that he cannot contest grubs in this game, so what does he do? He accelerates his jungling by missing Gromp, missing the Krugs, and just going straight for the enemy bot laners. He kills the Jinx, and shortly afterwards kills the Thresh. So what does accelerated jungling actually mean? When the enemy jungler is threatening to take your camps or objectives in the river, you must react at the same time and either stop that play from happening, just like Canyon did, or you create a trade on the other side of the map, just like Eagz and Kanavi. Now let's watch what you do. In this Emerald game, the Talon is doing grubs and the enemy Lilia knows this. So what should Lilia try to do? Well, it should start with killing Talon's bot lane or bot camps and then finish with Dragon. So with that in mind, what should Talon do after doing grubs? He should do what Canyon did and run straight to his raptors, which is what he doesn't do. This needed some accelerated jungling, skipping his top camps and going straight for Lilia's counterplay. In this challenger career game, you heard me, T1 Griffin is doing the last two grubs after driving the enemy Shaco off of them. Now Shaco has to recall here, but the Shaco should also know that Griffin is doing grubs obviously, and probably crab and even his top camps afterwards. So Shaco out of base might think of doing what? Griffin's bot side, or killing his bot lane, or even the Dragon. So what should Griffin do here after the grubs and maybe crab? He should run straight to his raptors here to cover them. Even if he runs to raptors and Shaco is not here, he can do red buff afterwards, get level 6 and run at the weaker red team's bot side jungle because they hard win 4v4 with how fed they all are. In this game though, Shaco gets a couple of kills and ends up carrying just because there's one misplay. Griffin needed to accelerate his jungling and skip his Gromp and wolves. In this game, Kanavi decides not to contest grubs because he doesn't have his ultimate. The enemy Lee Sin does. And on top of that, Kanavi can counter Lee Sin doing grubs by potentially killing his bot lane. So after his top camps, Kanavi clicks towards his blue buff. Now, even if he is a little bit scared of Lee Sin hovering his bot lane, Kanavi is so much stronger here. And especially after Lee Sin actually shows top, Kanavi should never hit his Gromp here. He should run through the enemy's jungle behind the enemy bot lane, giving himself the best chance of killing them. Instead, he decides to lane gank, gets no kills, and it's definitely not a worth trade for red team. This could have been so much better. He needed some accelerated jungling. Now, one final clip later in a game to show you what accelerated jungling is really about. This is Eagz. Now, in this game, his team just killed the enemy Mordekaiser, so it's 5v4. Baron is also up. Now, because Eagz has his R up very soon so he can tank the Baron, and his Kaiser and Olaf are parallel with that objective, he accelerates his jungling by skipping his wolves and starts the Baron. If he does his wolf camp here, it gives the enemy team a bit more time to potentially react to that and stop the blue team from getting Baron, but they can't. This is accelerated jungling. If you're going to stop being AFK in your games, please like the video.